this painting was gifted by W.Y. Macgregor's family. What's your first impressions of the picture when you see it?
That size of a painting, it's grand.
It is, yeah.
It is. It's got impact. It is a big piece, the gilt frame and everything, but my eyes directly drawn to the rhubarb.
Yeah.
That impersonator of a fruit, because of the colour, the vibrancy there, and then it's the space on the right-hand side with the paring knife is and everything. It looks like it's the end of the day. Yeah. You've got trimmings and everything there. It's a little bit dishevelled, the leeks. But yeah, it is. It evokes smells to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And what I want to cook with it, because it's captured. It has captured the life of the vegetables.
Definitely. It was quite unusual for him to do a still life, and it might surprise you to know that it did actually used to feature the figure of a stall holder on this side. This was a typical kind of market stall with vegetables laid out, and the figure we know through x-rays was a young girl, and she's counting her takings for the day. Right. But it's interesting that Macgregor decided to paint her out and really let the vegetables be the hero, as you say it.
Looking at it, I could smell the stall. It's like an old-fashioned greengrocers. You go in, you've got a smell of ripeness, you've got a smell of a little bit of decay, the over-ripeness. You mean it's there, and you could definitely be smelling that from the painting. It's just so lifelike.
So Tony, what's your journey to becoming the chef that you are today?
I'm lucky enough to be in a family that everybody cooked. Mum, dad, granny. Obviously, the special occasions, the guys came and done it and took all the limelight, but always it was solid cooking. You helped out. Big family. I've got 2 brothers, 1 sister, and there was always gatherings. If you helped in the kitchen, you got extra. You got to lick the spoon.
Yeah, and it's the best place to be.
Well,
in the kitchen.
Definitely, but it was the best place. It was the heart and soul of everything. And when you think of, like, you get fantastically clean lentils and rice and everything. Back then, you had to flick through it and get the stones. So we were kids. You were 4 or 5, and then you got to do that. It was a game. It was brilliant. We didn't have Nintendo. We had lentils, no batteries for hours. It was great. I might bring it back actually.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So food has always been centre in my life, and then when I found out you could actually get paid for it, I went, yes, sign me up.
Career for me.
Worked around the hotels in Edinburgh, went down south, places in Scotland and everything. Well, opened my own restaurants, got a bit of telly, and then now I am doing supper clubs in my house. Yeah. Which is again that full circle of, you're coming to my house for hospitality, you're sitting at my table, and it's such a different dynamic. It's phenomenal.
I always wonder what would you make with this set of ingredients?
I'm using rhubarb at the moment, so we've poached the rhubarb with Madagascar vanilla and pink champagne.
Nice.
With rice pudding.
Aww.
But it's an Indian rice pudding, so it's very smooth.
Yeah.
So like a thick custard, and then we glaze it like a creme brulee.
It's making me so hungry.
In an Indian setting, you'd be making halwa out of the carrots. You can make murabba out of the turnips, and obviously the rhubarb. If it was there, you could use as well as a sweet, but it's that whole kind of thing. Vegetables are just always overlooked.
I think the onions are interesting, the way they're hung as a sort of French, because that might be a slight nod to
the lines.
Yeah, French art, because that's what the Glasgow boys were very interested in. They were really interested in this idea of painting outdoors that was coming from there, and of focusing in on your everyday environment, and letting that be a subject for art. Art didn't need to be this, grand, society, edifying thing. It could be just seeing the real beauty in the kind of everyday. And I think that translates across a lot of different things. I think you can appreciate a really simple, good dish, that plays with your emotions. It gets you. Yeah.
Again, we were talking about the rhubarb, but a brown paper poke with sugar takes you back to childhood, or a nice crisp carrot. I mean, these things are, you say, very, very simple, but very evocative.
And I think that's something that works really well in this painting. Whenever I look at it, I sort of, you do start to almost think about the dishes you would make, and you can almost taste them, you know, like, of what you would do with them.
And it's just, they would have been picked the day before or on the day. So when people with communal gardens, people shared the growing and the cooking. It's just, we need to get back to that a bit more.
Yeah.
We've all got critics. Art, maybe, but food, you can't hide something.
That's true.
And you go, oh, was that nice? Oh, I can tell in your eyes, it's terrible.
Yeah, you know, when it's released out of the artist's studio and they, you know, then you're open to the critiques.
Yes.
And some people will love it. It's a bit like rhubarb, you know, some people will love it and some people, it's not for them.
And I think that's the magic of knowing, as long as you like it, the artist put it out, I put it out, you're happy with it.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's really our ethos here at the gallery as well, is that it's yours to discover, so it's come and find it for yourself. It's been absolutely brilliant talking to you, Tony, and my stomach is rumbling thinking about all the things you might cook with these things.
Well, no, thank you very much. It's an amazing painting, and now I'm off to have my rhubarb.
Oh, quite right, yeah.